You should have for months been building a heel, for months been building a baby face. So at least we go into these matches and there's some question.
Yes.
Bro, there's no question Cody's going over and Damian Priest is going over.
Let's talk about upcoming main event matches for the titles at Backlash. We have Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. We also have Damian Priest going against Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Before we go into analyzing both matches, do you think that Jey Uso and AJ Styles are timely contenders right off the heels of both of them winning?
Not at all, bro. Not at all. They're both horrible, terrible, easy choices. Bro, you should have. Bro, listen. They're booking this. They're writing this. They know who's going over. You should have for months been building a heel, for months been building a baby face. So at least we go into these matches and there's some question.
Yes.
Bro, there's no question Cody's going over and Damian Priest is going over. Like, there's no question whatsoever. I swear, Chris, I told you this a couple of months ago. I remember, bro. I remember vividly, like, I can remember, like, Savage losing the title to Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. Mm-hmm. Bro, when they had the rematch, you really believed Savage was winning it back. Sure. You really believed he was gonna win it back. Now, bro, it's just so predictable because they didn't build opponents for these two guys coming out of the chute. And that goes back to, bro, WWE creating content because they will watch whatever we put out there.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you say that too, because I think there's a point there. There's a strong point there because WWE is starting to do more international shows. And a lot of these international pay-per-views are feeling like house shows on steroids. Like it just seems as if they're just booking for the live audience of the France show coming up, of the Saudi show coming up, of the Scotland show coming up. So like you having all these international shows, yes, that looks good from a business standpoint, but from a consumer content perspective outside of the actual audience there, it just feels like an inflated house show. And it seems like they've been doing that for a while with these events. And it seems like with Backlash, that's kind of like the motive too. Like they're going to be in France, they're going to have like that French crowd, and they're looking to appease that French crowd. So the ones who watch it on television, they're not really, you know, aiming or catering towards them because matches are very predictable. There's not really going to be any spice. The only thing I predict maybe is Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill beating the Kabuki Warriors to win the tag team championship. So that's a prediction that does probably happen. But anything else though, where's the spice? Where's the interest?
Yeah, I mean, Chris, that's why it's very, very interesting to me. I think the WWE may be misjudging something because you got to remember, bro, when the WWE goes to Netflix, I think it's January, Chris. Is that when this is happening? Okay, bro, you got to understand something. Since the beginning of time, people have been getting Raw for free. Now you're asking them to pay for it. I think Netflix and WWE just assumes that people are going to fork over the money. I don't agree with that, bro. No. I think if it is a subpar product, they're going to think twice before they pay for it. Chris, here's a perfect example. You know, I'm a huge baseball mark. Bro, I live in Colorado. I'm a Giants fan, but I support the Rockies. I like to watch the Rockies. Bro, they couldn't come up with a deal with the cable station, you know, this year. So literally in order to watch Rocky games, I got to pay $100 for the year. I ain't paying it. No. I want to watch the games. I ain't forking over $100. And that's why I'm saying, bro, there is going to be a percentage of people. And Chris, how many times have we heard it? Man, we continue to watch it in hopes of it getting better.
Yep.
Well, it's going to be a different story, bro, if you've got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay for it in hopes of getting better? And who knows, bro, maybe once they move to Netflix, they'll, 100% up their game. Who knows?
Mhm.
But I don't think people are just going to automatically fork the money over to watch that show.
Yeah. See, I don't even know if they'll still try to get better. I mean, because yes, it's going to be behind a paywall now, but I mean, even with streaming services and stuff, that's behind a paywall too. So, do you do the Hulu or the YouTube TV or whatever that has USA, which is normal now, or even cable TV? They still have USA too. That's still paying something. But if you're thinking about like having cable, like people who still have cable, that you're paying a lot for cable television, that USA was included with that. But now you have to pay a lot for cable because you still want cable, and you have to pay for WWE behind the paywall. So that addition to an extra cost outside of the cable television costs, that might turn some heads, man.
And Chris, you're paying for Peacock to see the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
So now it's three.
Yeah,
it's three services that you're paying. I don't think people are going to fork it over as easily as they think they are, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I think that with Netflix, I think it makes sense just because it's what's trending, as far as streaming services are concerned. Cutting the cord has been a thing for a while now. It's starting to trend for more streaming. But at the same time, though, if Netflix is continuing to rise in price, and if someone's only buying Netflix for WWE content, it's like I might just have to watch YouTube or look at Twitter and just look at the results, because especially from a 3-hour product, like I know a lot of people talk about how they just follow it on YouTube, they just watch little clips on stuff like that. Do you how many people are willing to keep their cable and go to another service? It's going to be difficult to really gauge that, which, to your point, I think, which is the reason why WWE has to go back to the old pay-per-view model. And we're going to bust our butt in creating this content in order for you to get the service.
Right.
Because the thing is, because essentially what you're dealing with now, especially toward the end of the year, toward the last quarter, that quarter 4, I really think that quarter, more than any quarter, they need to go balls to the wall and getting that riveting content over, because you have to now bring all of that cable television viewership over to Netflix now.
But Chris, you know what? That's the way it should be.
Exactly.
That's the way. Earn it, bro. We're out here working hard, busting our onions for every freaking dollar, dealing with the cost of groceries and gas going up. Earn my money.
100%.
Earn my money, bro. That should be the way it is. I feel that way about my podcast. I don't sleepwalk through my podcast, bro. I earn my money. That's the way it should be.
Yep, I 100% agree with that. And that's business, man. That's business.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
I don't know any businessman that wants to be successful by expecting to do the same type of things and expect new consumers to come to their product.
Right.
No, man, you got to do promotions. You got to do, you got to do market research. You got to do compare and contrast. You got to do risk analysis. You got to do all of those particular things when it comes to building your business and building your brand. But content creation every single week for sports entertainment is reflecting in the numbers, man. And going back to AEW, you can't even clear 700,000 with a new champion and a Jack Perry return. I mean, the cognitive dissonance has got to go away, man. It's got to go away. So, let's see. We got Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. It's easy predictions. I think we're both going to go on Cody Rhodes with this one here. AJ Styles, you've worked with AJ very closely for a number of years. Is this a type, like, he's at a point right now at, nearly 47 years old, that he's just basically punching in his ticket, getting this check, and just slotting in wherever they want him to at this time.
Absolutely, bro. You know, I mean, he knows he's at the tail end, and I don't blame him, bro. Make as much money as you can. I mean, Chris, like you, I'm sure, you know, bro, I'm a lot older than you. I'm 63, but I mean, me and my wife are, you know, just madly saving for retirement right now, every little bit that we could. And I'm sure, you know, I'm a lot older than AJ as well, but I'm sure knowing that you're at the end of your run, bro, he's going to make every dollar he can make, and I don't blame him. And AJ's not the key. He ain't going to call it in. Every match is going to be an AJ Styles match. He has too much pride for that. But yeah, bro, I do believe that that's mentally where he is in his career.
What's the logic of WWE after one of the hottest couple of months they've had? I mean, in at least 10 years, they had that hot, streak within The Rock, selling out 18 consecutive shows, you know, having such an amazing main event that was at night 2 of WrestleMania. Night 1 was cool too, to see The Rock back. But after having so much buzz, the feel was different. You know, it was such a united front when it comes to speaking positively about pro wrestling for the first time unanimously, basically in a long time. You and I were putting, you know, the shows over like crazy, and that's rare. Coming from that to going right back into the system and feeding us Cody, AJ, what's the logic behind that?
I think I'm going to throw something at you, Chris. You tell me if I'm crazy, or you think that you tell me if this holds any water. Bro, I do believe when they look at WrestleMania weekend, when they look at those 2 days, I believe there is a nut. I believe that is a huge chunk of their revenue for the entire year. Yeah. I believe, bro, they know, okay, bro, we're putting X amount of dollars into this, and this is what we need to take out of it. And I guarantee you, bro, it is a huge chunk of their revenue for the entire year. So I'm almost thinking, Chris, if they reach that goal, and if they walk away from WrestleMania in those 2 days, making a big chunk of their yearly income, I wonder if once they do that, the hard work is done. We've made the money for the year. Now it's just going to go back to business as usual. I wonder if that's how it's budgeted. I don't know, bro. But you're right, Chris. It's, you know, the build, everything they did. People are excited about it. People were talking about it. 3 weeks later, we're right back to the system.
Yep. Numbers wise as well. I mean, ratings wise as well. Losing over, 500,000 people, from that time as well. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you as far as just the business as usual. And it feels like because of that philosophy of like working our way up to WrestleMania, making those numbers, meeting those goals, it just feels like off-season-y right now. You know what I mean?
You know what I guess we can compare it to, Chris, before the internet, kind of took over. Bro, remember Black Friday when you used to go to the stores? Yeah. Remember that was such a big thing, and it was the same thing. The Walmarts, the Targets, you name it. They were banking on Black Friday. We need to make X amount of dollars if we're going to make our nut. To me, it's pretty much the same feel to me.
Yeah,
those 2 days, bro. This is gonna make or break our year.
Yeah, I can see that. And it seems like the rest, just to kind of like, okay, let's just kind of rest it out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Off-season-y feel right now. Yep. In July, let's go back to building it up for the big SummerSlam. So this lull period now, it feels like an off-season.
And we never did that, Chris. I swear to you. Bro, I didn't even know what month it was. Like every single show counted. It was never that way at all, bro.
Yeah. Jey Uso being fed to Damian Priest. Why so early?
Well, bro, I guess when you sit down and you look at paper and you look at the talents, who else you going to put in there? You got to put a strong baby face in there. You know, outside of Jey Uso and outside of Cody Rhodes, like, who are these strong baby faces? Sami Zayn is the Intercontinental Champion, so it can't be him. Kevin Owens?
Yeah, he's on SmackDown though.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of strong baby faces. Seth is injured.
Yep.
Punk is, injured. I mean, that's sad, first of all.
It really is sad. Bro, this is the number one wrestling company in the world.
Yeah, you only have one strong baby face right now in the main event. Wow.
And
I think he should have been billed a lot more. I mean, if you're talking about just kind of an organic type of popularity growing up, stewing up, Jey Uso's the person, I was, live, and just that feel from the crowd. Pat McAfee's on the table dancing too. It's infectious, even when you see it from, the screen, even if you're watching on television, doing the, up and down, hands up and down, and it feels fun. It feels like he's reaching through the television, inviting us to have fun with him. And I think if you just let that cook, man, he can be a really, really legitimate top star. Feeding him to Damian Priest, to me, so early, I just think that's going to derail his momentum, man. I'm just not a big fan of it. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here is Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris. This is Riding with Russo. Have a good night, everybody. So low.